Hello and welcome to Berlin Tempelhof Airport ahead of the second day of the Berlin ePrix. Now we are here, of course, surrounded by racing drivers on simulators, which means it is the Berlin ePrix. Now behind me you can actually see the drivers who are already practicing ahead of the race. And yeah, give us a wave, yeah, but they are focusing. They're actually getting quite aggressive, quite noisy. Pachito, Jose Maria Lopez has been shouting around. But let's have a quick chat to two of our fans. These guys have done an amazing job because they've never actually raced on sims around the track here in Berlin, but they've been competing this morning and they set the fastest, most competitive qualifying time. So let's just get a quick word with them. Greg, awesome to have you here. How long did you have to practice this morning to set the quickest lap?
This morning only 6 laps, but I did more yesterday, maybe 30, 40, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I see, okay, so he was here yesterday as well as this morning, so he's probably feeling extra confident. Greg, good luck, you're going to need it, by the way, they get quite aggressive out there. Robert, a familiar face. You were actually with us yesterday.
Yesterday it was a bit too new to me, so today I try to enjoy it better.
The start's always a pretty tricky moment during this sim race, isn't it? It's always best to try and stay out of the way, stay clear of trouble. Do you think that's the strategy for today?
Yesterday I tried to stay out of trouble, but today I will fight harder and not to stay out.
Fight harder? Does that mean you're going to start causing some trouble, Robert?
Excuse me?
Are you going to start causing some of the trouble?
Maybe at the start I try to be harder also, because...
Great. Well, Robert, have a good, clean race, and I hope these racing drivers stay out of your way. It was Robin Frains, actually, from the MS Andretti team who won yesterday. His teammate, Antonio Felix da Costa, perhaps not quite as strong in the sim world, but we are about to find out as our formulary drivers, and Robert and Greg, take to the Berlin eRace here. Over to you guys in the commentary box.
Thank you, Nikki. There is yesterday's race winner, Robin Frains, ready to give a little bit of advice, or possibly to eject Antonio Felix da Costa from the car at the Allianz Andretti seat in the simulator. So Nelson Piquet Jr., you can see there, the cars are on the grid and ready to go. Our two guest drivers, Greg Huon and Robert Horváth, a Hungarian, joining the Frenchman on the front row of the grid. Horváth raced in yesterday's race, and yeah, fair heart never won. Faint heart never won fair maid, never won eRace either. You have to be arms and elbows here because the drivers will be as well. Daniel Abt, Nico Prost on row 2 of the grid. Adam Carroll, Felix Rosenqvist on row 3, but Rosenqvist's car being driven by his teammate Nick Heidfeld here today. So our race leaders need to keep their noses clean into the E-Motion tunnel. Up the inside goes Daniel Abt, and into the barriers he shunts. Robert Horváth, I think that Greg Huon maybe was shoved off there, so our guest drivers, you heard Robert saying, have to be a bit more aggressive. I think Greg is doing as well. He's giving Jose Maria Lopez in the purple and grey DS Virgin car a bit of a run for his money, but the race leader, red, green and gold, that is the Abt Schaeffler car of Daniel Abt. Robert Horváth in second place. Pachito Lopez in third, going a long way around the outside. Don't forget the drivers were not in this race yesterday. Their teammates predominantly were. Bang into the wall goes Greg Huon in fourth place, but doesn't spit any wheels off. However, that does leave him under attack from Antonio Felix da Costa, who squirms up the inside, and a spin for the race leader. Daniel Abt gassing it up. Further back, trouble for Rosenqvist's car. That's down to the tail of the field now with Nick Heidfeld at the wheel. There you can see Daniel Abt in the white cap in the inset. His red, green and gold car now in second place. Jose Maria Lopez leads across the line. And Abt somehow, I don't know how he recovered from spinning it out of the hairpin. He's up to third ahead of Antonio Felix da Costa. There are our guests being turned around there by the Jaguar of Adam Carroll was Greg Huon. So, no, in fact, Greg Huon has moved up the order, so Adam Carroll was turning Robert Horváth around. And you're looking there at Antonio Felix da Costa in the inset. Antonio put into the wall by the Jaguar. Really enjoy it. He's looking across at Adam Carroll going, did you really just do that? Adam's going, yep, I had you there. So Lopez leads, Abt in second there, Carroll up to third, I think maybe. No, he's still just, Greg Huon gives him third. gives Antonio Felix da Costa fourth. Da Costa's looking down the inside into the hairpin. This time he doesn't back it in quite as aggressively. Carroll tags him on the way out. It's wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper. Felix smiling there, Antonio Felix da Costa. Drifts out wide. Sloppy, lost his concentration. Too much wheel spin on the exit. Adam Carroll with the inside line on this long, curving front straight. They head down into a decreasing radius. Right-hander gets tighter and tighter. Adam Carroll losing it under braking there. Car turns sharp left into the wall. Clatters Antonio Felix da Costa, but that is still the battle for third. Portuguese in front of the Ulsterman, Tom Dillman closing in behind them. And then Loic Duval, there's Dillman. And Loic Duval, and then behind them is Nelson Piquet Jr. There he is in the turquoise and grey of Next EV, lap 2 of 6. And positions changing all the way round. Robert Horvath getting in front of Nico Prost for not quite last. 10th, 11th ahead of Jean-Eric Verne in 12th. There's Piquet in the inset, and here he is, we're on board with him. Sweeping down to the hairpin from that right-handed corner 8, down to turn 9, tags the back of Loic Duval, and Duval already fully committed under braking, gets shunted further into the corner, and as a result runs out wide and deep into the wall. Hangs on, Piquet couldn't capitalise. Out of the final turn, through the start grid markings, they sweep to the left-hand side by the wall and then sweep back out, trying to straighten the straight into a straight and then in tight. Ooh, a little bit of rear end steering from Piquet just on the turn-in aspect of the corner. Up ahead with Antonio Felix da Costa, there's the car in third. The Jaguar in fourth place is Adam Carroll ahead of the black, blue and red of Tom Dillman in fifth. The white rear end of Loic Duval and the black nose of his Dragon Racing Faraday Future car in sixth spot ahead of Nelson Piquet Jr., who's just dropped back a little, bounce over the curbs there from Tom Dillman. Over the rumble strips, that's not going to help his speed out. Oh, and just fringes up against the wall in the entrance to turn 8. Down to the hairpin, Jaguar stops hard. Adam Carroll in fourth place. Tom Dillman right behind him, they both smite the wall. There's Dillman, his second race weekend, his first ever double race weekend in Formula E, and he goes through past Adam Carroll. Carries too much speed in, can't control it, and Carroll comes back alongside him, retakes the place by the start-finish line. Jose Maria Lopez leads from Daniel Abt. Antonio Felix da Costa, this the battle for fourth. Dillman trying to turn in tighter. Rear end breaks away, but he somehow manages to keep it together. And then Carroll is in the wall and facing the wrong direction. Rejoins behind Piquet and ahead of Gregoire, the first or the better placed of our guest drivers. And Robert Horvath was right to try and take a little bit of a more aggressive strategy, because our racing drivers, the Formula E pros, take no prisoners even here. There's Loic Duval in fifth place, black to white on that Faraday Future Dragon Racing car. And behind the battle heightening between Adam Carroll and Greg Huon, who is right with him. There's Pachito Lopez, race leader, after 4 of 6 laps. There he is in the inset in the purple shirt of DS Virgin. Daniel Apton, second place. Apton some way back. Antonio Felix da Costa in third spot. Pachito spends a lot of time working on simulators. He's quite the dab hand in the barriers there. Is Jean-Eric Verne's Techeetah car. I wonder whether he's got up and left, because the car appears to be stationary. Verne was in 11th place. And Jose Maria Lopez continues to lead comfortably. Gap coming down between Daniel Abt in the red, green and gold and the white and blue of Amlin Andretti. Antonio Felix da Costa, though, right out there into the wall. Here in the background you can see the fabulous hangar buildings of this general aviation terminal at the Tempelhof Aerodrome. Fantastic recreation of what we're seeing in real life. You see those massive, near mile long of hangar doors in this crescent-shaped building in the background. And oh, take your eyes off the track at your peril. That's Greg Huon. You can see him there in the inset. Jose Maria Lopez has claimed victory today in the eRace E-Prix, and Daniel Abt rudely assaulted after the final corner by Antonio Felix da Costa. That'll go to the steward's room. Tom Dillman in fourth, Loic Duval in fifth, ahead of Adam Carroll. Time for Pachito to put his race boots back on. He's congratulated by Daniel Abt. Jose Maria Lopez driving in his socks for even better pedal feel, because a racing driver's pedals are much firmer in the car, particularly the brake pedal. You need a protective shoe. There is your race winner. Nicky Shields is down with him.
Chito, well done, congratulations. Not sure about that manoeuvre at the end, but the rest of the race was pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay. Second race in a row I win here. I hope I can do it on reality now.
Do you think that's going to happen this afternoon?
It's more difficult, definitely, but we see. We start in P3, so yeah, it was good fun always with the guys here.
Awesome, we'll have a great race. Thank you very much. Greg, we'll have a quick word with you. What did you think of that? Now, commiserations finishing in P7. Yeah. What are we going to tell the team principal?
It was not easy. It was not easy, and maybe we won't be happy because of Daniel Abt maybe touched me a little bit. I don't know. We'll see.
Which driver do you think pushed you out the way?
Daniel Abt, I think I was on the inside. It was close, so I tried. But anyway.
Well, go and have some words. I think you should go and have some words with Daniel Abt.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good race. It was fun because it was a good track also. Yeah. Good software. So it was good to drive here in Berlin.
Good. Yeah. Well, maybe if you ask nicely, they'll let you in one of their real cars.
Sorry?
Maybe if you ask nicely, they'll let you into one of their real Formula E cars.
Yeah, why not? Well, we can swap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Well done. Great sport. Thanks for having you here. Well, it's Jose Maria Lopez from the DS Virgin Racing team that is the winner of the E-Race here in Berlin. But now, of course, there is only one thing left to do, and that is all of our 20 racing drivers will be heading out on track for the final race here this weekend. We look forward to seeing you for 4 o'clock as the lights will go green here at Tempelhof Airport.